Thank you for watching the interview with Chiluveru, where we showcase people with excellent ideas, rare accomplishments. My name is Viju Chiluveru. Thank you for watching us. Here we have Sathvik Namburar, who has 3 different accomplishments under his belt. He has scored 3,600 points at his ACT in his school. Number 2, he was a valedictorian and he is attending Johns Hopkins University. How cool is that? What else you can ask for? I'm sure your parents are, damn proud of you, and so am I.
Thank you.
Thanks for accepting this interview.
Thank you for having me.
And welcome to the show. Let me ask you the very first question. What's this Sathvik about? Sathvik Namburar? What does Sathvik mean?
Satvik means one who is very calm, has an inner peace, and it comes from Viju and it's which my mother reads, and it's another name for the Lord Vishnu.
Such a wonderful name.
Thank you.
Sathvik also means soft-spoken.
Yes.
Very docile, quiet person. I hope you will be. Or otherwise, I hope you will talk. Okay. This is going to be my very first question. So I was talking to my audience that you have 3 different accomplishments. It all came within about 3-4 months, right? So what was the feeling? Like, can you explain in the right words how you really felt at that time?
I felt happy, but at the same time I felt like these were just markers on my way to a bigger goal. I felt like these markers were signs that I was doing the right things and that I was on the right path, but the trail was still going to continue.
Beautiful.
And the path was going to continue.
Yes, you're talking like a statesman, talking like somebody, a national leader. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like the answer actually. Now, tell me, was there a single factor that contributed to the success, like hard work, teachers, parents, or constant, chasing the dream? Is it single or a combination of so many different things?
So I thought about this, and I think it's 3 things.
3 different things.
I think it's 3 things. I think 1 is having a passion for what you're doing,
okay,
for what you're trying to set out to accomplish, for your goals. If you don't have a passion for your goals, you won't be successful. I think 2 is having the right support network. That can be teachers, parents, friends, a combination as it was for me. And having the right support network in place who help you with your passion, help you guide you towards your goals, is very, very important. Without the support network, you can have passion, but you won't be successful. 3rd, I think, is hard work and just perseverance. There will be obstacles. There were many times when I feel like, why am I doing this? This is going to take forever. It's not worth it. But you still have to have a goal in mind. You have to work hard, and you have to continue to strive for your goals.
Heard, Sathvik? I think there are 3 secrets. 1, passion, support, perseverance. We got it, right? So everybody's going to be like you. Okay. Now let me move the subject towards your goal. You have a goal, right? And you're chasing it. So the goal is to become a top doctor?
So the goal is, I do intend to study medicine and go to medical school. But I think my goal is to work in health policy. I want to affect the health of millions of people at a time. I'm very interested in policy and politics. I had an internship last summer with a U.S. congressman, and I was working on issues of Veterans Affairs. I was working with the VA, the Veterans Administration. And I learned a lot from that experience, and it really drove me to continue to want to pursue a career in policy. As a public health major, that's another thing that's also influenced me. And 3rd, I'm the editor-in-chief of JFG Politique, which is a weekly political opinions magazine. And in this magazine, I've had the opportunity to write my opinions and read other people's opinions and have a debate through this forum.
With every single question, I am adding 1 accomplishment to your account. You had 3, then you talked about you went to a congressman for internship. Then immediately in the next sentence you said you are an editor for a magazine. So far we have 5. I'll keep counting. Okay, I'll give the final count at the end of the interview. Now, okay, while we are on this subject, what are the few tips that you would like to give to your junior students? So Tell them whatever you have.
I think the three things that I mentioned earlier, hard work, passion, and the right support network are huge. Find your passion, find your support network, and work hard to achieve it. Achieve whatever you set out to do.
But when it comes to peer pressure, right? So there are a lot of competitors. Yes, you're talking about three things, I understand that. And but when things are not going right, when there's no support, when there's a lot of peer pressure, when there's a lot of parental pressure, and sometimes people may not have financial support or financial resources. What will you do? But you still see a lot of kids, similar to you, coming out with a lot of success and all that. So how do you think those people are really chasing their dreams?
I think for them, so these three things, this passion, support network, and hard work, they don't have to be created equal. For me, they were roughly equal. But for someone who does not have the right support system in the situation that you were describing, they have the passion, they have the hard work, and that can carry you a long way. Even if you're lacking in something, you can try to make up for it, but if circumstances prevent you from making up for it, if you are so good in the other two, or you do so much in the other two, hard work and passion in this case, you can still be successful.
Before we forget, how much credit would you like to give it to your parents and the school you attended? I'm reminding you once again because you didn't mention those earlier.
A lot of credit.
Okay.
That's what I meant by the support network.
Oh, I see. Okay. Indirectly.
Indirectly.
When you say support, it's parental support.
Yes. My parents are probably, outside of God, the number one group that I give the most credit to.
Beautiful.
And so they have been huge in everything that I've done. They have not pushed me or anything. They have let me set my own goals, and they have watched, and they have supported, and they have encouraged.
They have trusted you.
They have trusted, and they have encouraged, and so that's huge.
Yep.
And the school and the teachers are very important as well. It's very important to have good mentors in your life, people who are in the field, people who are know what's happening, and that's been very important for me as well.
Now this question is going to be very loaded. You said medicine, then you also went to a congressman, so you're one step into politics, right? So where do you think these two are going to meet? What exactly is your long-term goal? Are you planning to perhaps become an activist to fight for the medical benefits of the people? Can you explain? I don't want to put words into your mouth.
So activism,
what are you planning?
Activism is definitely one possibility. Right now, there are about 30 million Americans without health insurance.
Oh, 10% of the population.
10% of the population, yes. And that number will go down, but there will still be tens of millions of people without health insurance and people without access to healthcare. And I see my career, my calling, as trying to help those people find the health insurance, the healthcare they need. And the reason why I pick healthcare, there are a lot of other things, money, financial security, things like that. The reason I pick healthcare is because I think without health, we can't do anything in our lives. Health is the number one most important thing, driving factor in everything that we do.
You were mentioning about the presidential award, U.S. presidential award, and that's awarded only to, I think, every state, two persons?
Yes.
Boy and girl?
Yes.
Typically? Okay.
Yes.
And who is the other person from state?
There's student is a girl named Meghana. This was 2 years ago. Meghana, she is from Duluth.
Okay, great. And so you both scored equally? Is that how they awarded the award? You get the award?
So each award is chosen individually.
Okay.
You are put into a pool based on your standardized test scores.
Oh.
And from this pool, you then have to go through a very long application process, a lot of essays and things, in which your not only academics, but your extracurricular activities, your community service, and your goals, your life goals are judged.
Yes. So what are your hobbies, Sathvik? You sports and stuff like that?
Yes, sports is my number one hobby. I enjoy watching and playing sports. Also, reading is very important to me. Reading nonfiction especially, I think someone told me that reading biographies is, you can learn a lot
Absolutely,
without even
True.
meeting people.
True.
And I think that's something that I really take into heart, and I really try to read many biographies. And also just hanging out with friends and doing things
That
like
goes without saying, of
Yes.
course. You watch films, music, stuff like that?
I do like music and movies. Don't have much time for movies, but I enjoy music.
Tell me something about your family, your parents, what do they do, and siblings?
My father works for AT&T, and my mother is a school teacher. My sister is in 10th grade, and like I said, my family is my #1 support network and support system, and they've been very hugely important, most important besides God in my life. And so yes.
Having said that, how often you visit them?
On average, about every 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So
That frequently?
that frequently we have
I've
breaks.
never heard of that. This is the first time I'm hearing.
Whenever we have a long weekend, I come down.
Good, good. I heard, kids only come back home, I think, for Thanksgiving or once in summer and in Christmas time, right? No?
So we have spring break, we have fall break, we have other breaks that I come home.
That's good. So you enjoy being at home
I do.
as much as you can.
Mhm.
Okay, so now let me switch subjects. You are sort of an international person, like born to international parents. They are originally from India. They're migrants, right? They migrated. So, were there any moments which really caused some kind of discomfort when you were at school or at any place that really hurt your feelings or really caused some kind of a problem?
So I can't think of any particular moments, but what I will say is that when I am, it's kind of like a neither here nor there feeling. When I'm here, I feel as if I'm an Indian. When I'm in India, I feel as if I'm an American.
Okay.
And it feels like I'm neither assimilated into neither culture.
Right.
But that could be a negative, but I try to take it positively. And I try to take the aspects of my Indian heritage and culture and blend them into the American lifestyle.
Sure. What do you do to keep yourself Indian or to practice your own religion?
I speak Telugu at home, South Indian language.
How fluent? How fluent? Do you want to test? You want to test you?
Sure.
I speak Telugu too.
Sure.
Okay. After this too. We'll do it after some time.
Okay. And I'm religious. I'm Hindu, so I practice Hinduism and pray as often as I can. And just enjoying the other aspects of my culture, the lighter aspects, the food and the traditions and the other things.
When you were giving so many different factors, you have not included praying. I'm sure that was the very first one. That's what I feel.
Yes. Religion is hugely important.
Good. Okay. Thanks a lot, Sathvik. Absolutely.
Thank you
finished
so
my
much.
questions. Do you have any questions for me?
So, what prompted you to start this interview with Chiluveru?
Well, that's the most expected question. So, people like you, when I find somebody very accomplished or he's got some bright ideas, he has done a lot of service to the society. So, I keep watching them over a period of long, about 10, 15 years. I thought of doing something for them. So, I found this can be a platform, this can be a great the source of showcasing those people so that the whole world can learn something from them. They can sort of follow his tips, guidelines, advice, or be like him. And it's happening. I've done a couple of videos and people start to really learning something about that. And I'm sure a lot of students are going to take your advice and follow or chase their dream too. So how do you enjoy being on this show?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think the setting and everything is great, and I appreciate you having me today. Thank you.
Actually, now you're a true celebrity. Thank you. Thank you so much, Satvik.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you. That's all, folks. Thank you so much for watching the interview with Chiluveru. We'll come back with more interviews like this. Until then, thank you.